Hello learners, welcome to week 2. In today's week, we will be discussing types and functions of media. In the first week, we talked about the definition and growth of media. And in today's week, we will be talking about types and functions of media. Please do not be confused. When I talk about media, I am talking about communication as well. I will be using media interchangeably with communication, because it is through media that we are communicating. So in the first class, in the first lecture of week 12, I have been talking about the definition and the function and the growth of media, wherein I talked about how media evolved, where evolvement we have the various types of communication which are being in existence today. And in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about what are these types of media, what are the functions of media. When we are talking about media, we are talking about two types of media, which is print and electronic. When we are talking about print media is associated with the printing and distribution of news through newspapers, magazines, brochures, newsletters, posters and other printed publications. Newspapers are the most popular and easily recognizable form of print media. This is often termed as old media. Sometimes print media is differentiated from display media, with the latter denoting billboards, signs and posters. When we are talking about print media, even today, even in this time of technology, when we say that this is the age of digital media, when we are saying that this is the where technology is developed, has so much developed, the very charm of reading the newspaper early in the morning, for the majority people, this charm or way people read newspaper in the morning, for many it has not lost its charm. So we are talking about print media. Print media is one form of media, one type of media which is associated with newspapers, magazine, brochures, newsletters, posters and other printed publication, journals. And also sometimes print media is also differentiated from display media, with the latter denoting billboards, signs and posters. So when we are talking about print media is different from display media. When we are talking about display media, we are talking about the signboards, we are talking about billboards, we are talking about posters. Another type of media is the electronic media. We are talking about print media as being the old media. Now we are talking about electronic media, which is this media is a different form of electronic communication that are new media. The term is in relation to old media forms such as print, newspapers and magazines that are static representations of text and graphics. New media is made possible through the use of computer technology. So new media is electronic media. We are calling electronic media as new media as compared to the print media, which is called old media. And when we are talking about new media is electronic media, and it has been made possible with the use of computer technology. The different forms of electronic media are websites, streaming audio and video, chat rooms, email, web advertising, DVD, CD-ROM media, internet telephony, digital cameras, mobile computing. Media is available in different forms, which are as follows: traditional media, which are non-electronic in nature and form part of our culture. So when we are talking about media, we are saying that media are basically of two types. Then we talked about the print media, newspapers, magazine, brochures. Then we are talking about display media, the signboards, the billboards. Then we are talking about the electronic media, which has been made possible with the use of computer technology. Then we have another form of media, Media is also available in the form of traditional media, which are non-electronic in nature and has form or is still a part of our culture. And so what is this traditional media? They are folk forms which have been traditionally used as vehicles of disseminating information from one generation to another, the oral tradition. They include folk theatre and dance, we have folk songs, we have religious discourses, street theatre, storytelling. All these are traditional forms of media wherein people communicate or they give social messages through the various forms of theatre, various forms of theatre in terms of street theatre, storytelling. Then they entertain people through folk songs, folk dance, and you have religious discourses. So this traditional media is a form of media which does not use electronic. Now what is mass media? How do you differentiate traditional media from mass media? Mass media is a frequently used term which denotes a section of the media specially designed to reach a large audience. The term was coined in the 1920s with the advent of nationwide radio networks and mass circulation of newspapers and magazines. So when we are talking about mass media, the very name itself says it all. Mass, which means you are reaching to a large audience, you are reaching to the mass, the majority, you are trying to reach to a large number of people. So this is called mass. When we are talking about traditional media reach to a specific number of people, because folk dance, folk songs, street plays, storytelling will take place in one place, which means that in a particular town or in a particular village, street plays, storytelling, theatre would take place in a particular village, and the audience will be limited because it does not use any electronic media, so it is not able to reach a large number of people. On the other hand, mass media is different from traditional media because it is able to reach a large audience. For example, newspapers and magazines, what you print here in Delhi, for example, the newspaper will reach across India. The magazines you publish will also reach across India. So mass media reach a larger audience as compared to traditional media. What is social media then? When we are talking about medias, we have already talked about printed media, we have talked about electronic media. Social media will be a part of electronic media. We have heard a lot about social media a few years ago. Social media is the buzzword today, and this social media are media meant for social interaction, for personal and business use. At its most basic sense, social media uses web-based technologies to turn communication into interactive dialogues for people to discover, read and share news, and also to share information and content. A few examples of social networking sites include your Facebook, Twitter. Before Facebook, you had Orkut, then now you have Twitter, YouTube, which aim at photo and video sharing, news aggregation and online reference sources, where one can interact by voting for articles and commenting on them. So social media is the buzzword today, and through social media there is a lot of social interaction for personal and business use. Because of social media, you have a lot of interaction taking place irrespective of your caste, race, border, gender, and you share a lot of news, you share a lot of information, and you are also able to discover a lot of information through the social media. So after talking about the various types of media, wherein we talked about the print media examples, I gave you newspapers, brochures, magazines. Then you have the display media, the signboards, the billboards, posters are the display media. Then we have the electronic media. Then we have another form of media, which is traditional media, wherein messages or communication is done through the street plays, or folk dance, or for folk songs, or religious discourses, and they have limited audiences. Then we have social media, wherein social media like Facebook, Orkut, Twitter, you are able to exchange and comment ideas and messages. Now we will talk about what are the functions of media. Why is media so important in our life? So what are the functions of media? The functions of media are information, education and entertainment. Basically, there are three functions of media, which are information, education and entertainment. Let us first come to information. Dissemination of information. This is one function, very important function of media. Mass media provides an enormous amount of information. Mass media is used for informing audiences about, to name a few, products and services, topical issues like news, current affairs programs, documentaries, campaigns, interviews, panel discussions, public debate, etc., and culture like programs on sports, music, drama and the arts. Examples for the various ways by which information is disseminated are through the news channel, through the movie channels and so on and so forth. So we have information which is disseminated, which is passed on, which is passed on to the audience, and you have through this media issues like news, current affairs, documentaries, interviews, panel discussions, public debate, and also you have programs on cultures, you have programs on music, sports, drama, arts, you have movie channels through which information is passed on, and you are able to get a lot of information from these forms of mass media. So this is one function of media, which is information, that is disseminating information. Then another function is providing education. How does media provide education? The use of various media, for example, audiovisual, that is television, audio, that is radio, voice and text messages in the form of SMS, and also multimedia like internet are primary components of communications with the distance learner. Even in conventional classroom teaching, media technology is increasingly being used as a teaching aid, to increasingly being used as a supplement, or it is used as being a part of teaching to enhance the quality of teaching learning process by delivering lectures on capacity building of teachers. So when we are talking about how media provides education, we are talking about the use of various media, for example, the television, the audio. You have for example, there are certain IGNOU programs which are telecast on television. We have what is called the Gyan Darshan channel, wherein we provide education to the learners. Then we have through radio in IGNOU, we have what is called Gyan Vani, and it is an interactive radio counseling, wherein we counsel, we take classes, we take counseling classes for our students of IGNOU. Then we have through SMS, we give information, we provide through short messages services, that is SMS, and also through internet For example, this particular course that you are doing, which is BEDS 002, you are able to enroll in this particular program because of the internet. You are able to see a lot of programs which are offered because of the use of internet. So this is how media is used as providing education. Then we have seen that with a lot of technology being developed, we have even conventional classroom teaching, wherein a teacher who used to teach in the classroom would also now use media technology as a teaching aid to enhance the quality of teaching. The teacher to supplement his or her teaching would ask the students, to watch a particular YouTube channel, or the teacher may record her or his class for the students to see, so on and so forth. So this is how media is providing education. Then there are many ways by which the media also acts as an agent of informal education. The media can provide people with unique opportunity to meet people they would not meet otherwise. Through this identification, people may reinforce what they already know or experience new learning or non-learning. The potency of mass media as an agent of informal education is stronger in the case of children who imitate characters that appeal to them. So, when we are talking about media, it is not just formal education which aids. It is not only how media aids or help the formal education. We have the mass media also acting as an agent of informal education, which means that it gives people the opportunity to meet people who they would not meet otherwise, and through this particular meeting of people other than a formal education, through meeting people, let's say it could be the Facebook platform, it could be a LinkedIn platform, they would meet people, they would share ideas, they would talk about their different views on a certain topic. So this is how mass media also acts as an age informal educations. We have seen that media plays a very important role in the case of children, and they imitate characters that appeal to them. Often children are seen imitating mannerism, gestures and language used by popular character, which is why you would notice that advertiser insert disclaimers and warnings cautioning audience against the dangers of imitating actions often performed by skilled experts or by exaggerated camera work. So you have seen that when children see certain programs in television, there are a lot of advertisement which the children come across on during a program or during watching a certain popular program. For example, an advertisement of bikes, or advertisement of how a person may drink a certain vitamin drink, wherein the person starts having superhuman powers, or the child sees a professional bike rider performing dangerous stunts. All these the children are seen to imitate because they feel that they will be able to imitate the same thing that they see on the screen. So there is always certain disclaimers, that is below the advertisement there are disclaimers which says do not perform this trick, do not perform this particular stunt or action, it is dangerous. So this is how the media is so much effective in able to reach the pulse of the children who are seen imitating mannerisms, gesture and language provided by popular characters. We see in certain programs wherein a child may see a superhero character in the television, and he or she may try to imitate the superhero and may hurt himself because of trying to imitate the superhero. So when we are talking about the media has such a potent reach on children, especially on adults as well as children. However, we see children are more affected by what they see on the screen. It may be imitating the superhero stunts, it may be imitating some of the bike stunts, it may be imitating the various fashion styles or certain behaviors, mannerism of their favorite actor or actress, and so on and so forth. So this is how media perform function of providing education, disseminating information. Another very important function of media is also providing entertainment. How does media provide entertainment? Media is an important source of entertainment as it provides emotional relaxation, cultural enjoyment, that is provision of momentary escape from problems. For example, you may just watch a YouTube channel, or you may watch a channel on TV, a channel which tells you or which informs you about the various culture or cuisine of a particular nation. And also it provides entertainment in terms of it gives you a lot of information on various cultures of the world. It provides what is called emotional relaxation, and also it kills boredom. Even at a time when television appears to rule the mass media, the print media also at the same time maintains a niche in the world of entertainment. Like I said, a person who, the very fact that early in the morning many people still prefer to read newspapers. The reading of newspapers still has not lost its charm. You have humor columns, you have comics, you have feature stories, you have a crossword puzzle words, and a number of games which continues to stir interest among several readers. You have Sudoku, which is becoming very popular. These are available in the newspapers. You try to solve them, you try to solve the various puzzles. So newspaper reading has still not lost its charm in spite of a lot of electronic media becoming popular in this age and time. Then also, in addition to the roles of providing function, providing entertainment or disseminating information, media also helps in providing what is called public opinion. While providing information, media helps shape public opinion as well. Research shows that the position public takes on critical issues are influenced by the media, especially when they air divergent views and provide in-depth analysis of issues. We have the media able to educate the public and the policy makers. Media act as the link between the government and the people. Mass media is the vehicle through which the government informs, explains and tries to win support for its programs and policies. The media are traditionally the watchdog of democracy, speaking for the people, representing the interests of the people and serving as checks on the government. The media guarantees the accountability of the government officials and guards public interest. You may have seen, dear learners, a lot of programs, a lot of news wherein, if there is certain issues on violence which is against the female gender, because of the reporting through the news channel, you become sensitized to this particular issue and you are able to have an opinion of a particular issue. It could be an issue on domestic abuse, it could be an issue on corruption. So media is able to educate the public and the policy makers, and they act as the link between the government and the people, and they are also able to focus on the policies of the government, what policies are there and which are undertaken by the government, and what are the various schemes of the government, how many people have been, so on and so forth. Another very important function of media is also socialization. That is, along with your family, along with school and religious organization, with family, school and religious organization, media also becomes part of the process by which people learn society values and come to learn what society expects of them. It also helps to form information, that is, it seeks to mobilize people, to bring them together and help to form decisions to bring about change and to its national development. And also another very important function of media is agenda setting. Agenda setting is a very powerful influence of the media, not on what the audience should think, but certainly what it should think about. The ability to tell us what issues are important. It is more specific in scope than the term public opinion, and it refers to the transfer of media salience. That means issues which are considered salient, which are considered important by the news media, and they transfer this to the public. Therefore, when the media have what is called certain issues that they have to make it popular or make it public, what they do is they take out certain issues that are important, they focus it through the news channel, and they make it public, which makes it a public agenda. So in today's class, we have talked about how media performs very important functions, disseminating information, providing education, providing entertainment, also providing forming public opinion. And we also talked about how agenda setting is very important, because when media focuses on certain agendas and they bring out these agenda as being important through the news channel, it becomes an issue which is made public, and public are able to focus on this particular agenda. They are made aware of this particular issue. So dear learners, with this class I have completed the functions of media. Thank you so much for listening.